Now, you know, the other day the last one of these videos I made a comment referring to the Ten Commandments and referring to, especially commented on thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, lying, you know. And I got to thinking about that. Well, I can get myself into trouble, especially thinking, you know that, I told you. So I got to looking back, and I went into that Bible. It was a King James Version, and I went to Deuteronomy chapter 5, and to see about what Moses had to say and just what it was. Now, I don't think those Israelites, when they came out of Egypt and followed Moses, I don't think they had been real faithful to that God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They were probably pretty much worshiping the Egyptian gods, if nothing else, to stay out of trouble. There wasn't no Meshach, Eshach, and Abednego, or whatever them guys' names were. But Moses had to leave Egypt, and he went across the desert somewhere for 40 years, and he learned about God and everything from some people who was over there. He came back to Egypt and got the Israelites out of there. Well, after they got out of there, they was afraid they was going to get starved and everything, and so they made themselves a golden calf. Now that really upset the Lord. So there's sin here, so I was going to explain what I was thinking about. And Moses called all Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I may learn, which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and keep and do them. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day. The Lord talked with you face to face in the mount out of the midst of the fire. I stood between the Lord and you at that time to show you the word of the Lord, for ye were afraid by reason of the fire, and went not up into the mount, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou. And remember that thou wast a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord thy God brought thee out thence through a mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore the Lord thy God commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day. Honor thy father and thy mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, neither shalt thou commit adultery, neither shalt thou steal, neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbor. Neither shalt thou desire thy neighbor's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbor's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbor's. These words the Lord spake unto all your assembly in the mount out of the midst of the fire of the cloud and of the thick darkness with a great voice, and he added no more. And he wrote them in 2 tables of stone, and delivered them unto me. Okay, now, the big thing about that is, if you get notice in the beginning, that was given to the Israelites. It wasn't given to the world in general. It was given to the Israelites. If the Israelites wanted to could choose. They had their agency from God. It's just like in the beginning of that, or in that Declaration of Independence, where it says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, that is for all men, whether they are Israelites, are members of a Christian church, like the Catholic Church, or the Eastern Orthodox, or let's say the Anglican Church, or Protestant, the Presbyterians, or the Baptists, or the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. See, they are all beholden to that 10 Commandments. But the others aren't. I imagine, knowing that the Prophet Muhammad was upset with the Jews for corrupting the true religion of Abraham, came out with that Quran, I imagine that he was trying to do and would accept the 10 Commandments as part of that. Because that is the way we should treat each other. Now, that goes along, there's other books. That Marx feller made that book, the Communist Manifesto. That Hitler feller made that book, Mein Kampf. There are some others that go along. That Zelensky guy out of Chicago that President Obama was so proud of. He wrote something up. Well, even socialism, or that Austrian economics, or all kinds of things, are faith-based items, so they are, in one way, from a particular point of view, all religions. Now, that First Amendment, consider the First Amendment, what it says. Congress shall make no law. If you get to paying attention real close, what the justice and everything, liberty, individual liberty of men and women, without regard to sex, without regard to race or color or religion or anything else, are all have their rights protected under that Constitution of the United States, which so many have chosen to corrupt it in the halls of Congress, in the presidency, and in the courts. Think about it. I'll get back to you. Have a good day.